So looking into the settings menu now, these are the settings which are adjustable for our CEBIS screen. The first menu you can see here is my user type. The user type allows the CEBIS menu to either display or not display certain settings. If I want to see all the settings available in my CEBIS screen, I will select Professional. However, if I want to reduce the amount of settings available, for example, if I had a beginner driver and I don't want them adjusting the settings as much, I can select Beginner. However, realistically, as an operator, I will use my Professional setting 99% of the time. In Display Settings, I can select the settings, the brightness settings, for that of the CEBIS screen itself. So I can either select the day mode or the night mode, making it a dark screen, so reducing glare when working at night. I can also select depending on the work light. In this mode, if my work lights are off, the main screen is going to be bright, and if I turn my work lights on like I would at night, my main screen is going to turn to the dark mode. I can also then select the brightness of the CEBIS screen itself. Next, into user-defined secondary display settings, I can adjust some of the display limiters which are shown on my main screen. So for example, here I'm adjusting screen 1. I can select any of the data available to myself. So for example, the fuel fill level. Instead, I would like to show my main drive speed. I can then go back to the home screen to display 1, and I can see here my first selection has changed to the main drive speed. I can then see below is the likes of my real settings, and also my distance traveled, and if I wanted to adjust these, I could go back to the user display and adjust these accordingly. These are obviously defined by display screen 1 and display screen 2. It's always worth making sure that you have the correct screen selected. Into my favorites management now, and again we've had a look at this in a previous video. The favorites management is replacing that of the hotkey functions on our previous generation of LEXION machine. So we've seen the favorite keys on that of the joystick, and if I go up and down my buttons on the joystick, I can select my available favorites. But for example, if I wanted to change these out, so for my Vario cutter bar, I want to instead select the likes of my real speed. I would then select the option, select real speed, and now that I have selected the likes of real speed, I can now see that in my favorites menu, it's there available to me. If I go to the bottom of my favorites management, I can also select the display time that the favorites menu is selected for. So for example, if I want this menu to be shown for a long time, I can increase the time delay, or if I wanted to disappear quickly, I can decrease the time delay. Remembering that regardless if the menu is there or not, the last selected item by my green box is the selected item that my joystick is still using, even if the menu has disappeared. Into the light setting now, and I can turn on some of the automatic light functions. So for example, if I was reversing at night and I wanted my work lights to automatically turn on, then I can select this option. The same for the likes of unloading my grain tube, and also for my tank fill level. If my tank fill level was to go past the likes of 70%, then my beacons will automatically turn on. If I don't want this to happen, I can turn these lights off. My audio settings are adjusting the volume of that of my CEBIS monitor. Assigning secondary displays, we've already had a previous look at in one of the previous videos of how adjusting these secondary displays is adjusting one of the 3 sub-menus on my home screen. Camera inputs, depending on the machine and how it's specified, I can select to see my camera input at all times, and I can also select the camera that I want to be read, be that my rear camera, my tube unloading camera, or my rear hitch camera. And finally, when I come to the bottom of the screen, I have basic settings selection. So the units and the time and date that my CEBIS screen is using, I can come in and adjust from the bottom. And now we've looked at this, that is just a basic overview of all the CEBIS settings we have available to us.